Hey guys, this is going to be my complete comparison for Chongyun's weapons. So things to note is the definitions. So one rotation is equivalent to 4 basic attacks of Chongyun. One set is equivalent to 3 rotations. We will be looking into 3 sets. So that's equivalent to 9 rotations. So that's basically 36 basic attacks. So you can pause the video over here. These are going to be the stats we will be looking into. So this is the stats with no weapons and no artifact bonuses. And so for the purpose of this video, all talents will be set to level 6. Now we will be comparing all the claymores, starting from the Skyward Pride, Wolf Gravestone, Sacrificial Greatsword, the Bell, Blackcliff Slasher, Serpent Spine, White Blind, Royal Greatsword, Rain Slasher, and Prototype Aminus. Now, Skyward Pride has energy recharge as its secondary stat. Increase all damage by 8% after using an elemental burst, normal, or charge attack on hit. Creates a vacuum blade that does 80% of attack as damage to enemies along its path. Lasts for 20 seconds or 8 vacuum blades. Now, the second 5-star is the Wolf's Gravestone, which is most popular. Attack percent is 45.3%, and its passive effect, Wolfish Tracker, is increased base attack by 20% on hit attacks against enemies with less than 30% HP. Increase all party members' base attack by 40% for 12 seconds. Can only occur every 30 seconds. So for Sacrificial Greatsword, this is composed like any other sacrificial weapon. They have energy recharge and there's a 40% chance to end its own cooldown. So note all these weapons are refinement 1 at level 80. The bell it gives you HP and basically gives you a shield. And when you have the shield, increase damage by 12%. The Lithic Blade, which is unreleased, so we won't be covering this yet. Blackcliff Slasher is available in the shop. It gives you crit damage, which is really good. Its passive effects is after defeating an enemy, increase attack by 12% for 30 seconds, so maximum is 36% attack. Serpent Spine is this is the battle pass weapon. It gives you crit rate as a secondary stat, and wave splitter every 4 seconds. A character is on the field, they will deal 6% more damage and take 3% more damage. This effect has a maximum of 5 stacks and will not reset if the character leaves the field, but will be reduced by 1 stack when the character takes damage. So this is very good for Chongyun as he mostly stays on the field. However, you do note that you need to not take damage. Now the White Blind is the craftable weapon that gives you defense percent. People have the notion that the White Blind is actually bad, but it's actually based on the stacks, it can be very good. So the stacks give you a maximum of 24% attack. 24% attack and defense, so which is good for Abyss. Royal Greatsword is the wish weapon. Passive is focus. Attack percent secondary stat. Upon damaging an enemy, increase crit rate. However, it resets after you land a crit. Rain Slasher is a elemental mastery as its secondary stat, and increase damage against enemies affected by Hydro or Electro. This is yet to be tested in terms of Chongyun plus Xingqiu, but overall is a decent weapon for Shatter. Prototype Aminus, which is arguably the most popular craftable 4-star weapon, gives 25.1 attack percent, passive crush, which basically procs 240% attack damage of your physical damage. Can only occur every 15 seconds, which falls under the 3 sets that we will be looking into. So overall, you can proc this around 3 times. Favonius Greatsword, crits have a 60% chance to generate small particles. Basically, this is energy recharge Greatsword. So, just an explanation of my different calculations. So we listed the different stats. So we have the Skyward Pride, the Wolf's Gravestone with different passives, Sacrificial Greatswords, the Bell, the Blackcliff Slasher with different stacks, Serpent Spine with different stacks, White Blind with different stacks, Royal Greatsword with different stacks, Rain Slasher with the passive active as well, Aminus, and Favonius Greatsword. So overall, for basic attacks, we have here are the average hit. The average hit over here is crit rate times crit damage and multiplied by the basic attack damage. This is elemental, so this takes into effect the cryo damage bonus cup. So, one rotation is equivalent to 15,000, say for the Skyward Pride, and 3 rotations we have 45 for 45k Skyward Pride. Wolf's Gravestone can go from 51 to 59, really good. Sacrificial Greatsword falls really behind, 40,000. The Bell, 40,000 as well. Blackcliff Slasher, which is decent, 51,000 to 60,000. I recommend that. Serpent Spine, 61,000 max, 47 min. White Blind, 38, 47. Royal Greatsword, 45. So Royal Greatsword is a better weapon compared to the White Blind. So it has 45 up to 62, but they generally don't really hit 62. Rain Slasher, really low, 38 to 46. It's lacking very much in basic attack damage. Prototype Amunis is pretty strong. I'd say this is average, 45,000, and Favonius Greatsword is the lowest among all, 36,000. Now, secondly, we'll be looking into the elemental skill damage, which is the E, or the cryo field that Chongyun sets up. So generally, these are equal to that of... The results are basically the same in terms of basic attack damage. It's just that the skill multiplier is different, and it only happens 3 times compared to the many times over here. So generally, the Wolf's Gravestone is the best weapon for the 5 stars. Same goes for the Blackcliff, Serpent Spine, doing a lot of damage for the E ability. And the average is the same with the Prototype Amunis being around 45,000, and in this case, it would be 24,000. We have the high ends, which is the Serpent Spine, 32,000, and yeah, generally that. Now we have the elemental bursts. We will be comparing. So many have said that, energy recharge is the way to go for Chongyun. We should go for Skyward's Pride or Sacrificial Greatsword. However, I disagree, as based on the numbers, although you get more damage over here for elemental burst, you fall significantly behind in terms of actual basic attack damage. So this can be shown over here. So to calculate the energy recharge, I used my energy recharge calculator over here, and so I'll link this eventually when it comes out. But yeah, so we get 79, or basically 2 ultimates without the help with Skyward's Pride. For the others with no energy recharge as its as the secondary stat, you only get 59, and that's 1 ultimate. So generally, weapons that have elemental recharge as the secondary stat get 2 ultimates, while the others get 1. However, with the help of supports theoretically that give like 10 to 20 energy in the course of 3 sets, you can have 2 ultimates. So if you go back to Skyward's Pride, 10 to 20 won't help in terms of giving another ultimate, so it remains at 2. The only one that doesn't remain at 2 would be the Favonius Greatsword, where you can proc 3. Now, the total damage is 47,000 for the Favonius Greatsword, which is a lot considering they have 3 ultimate. So to quickly go over things, 47,000 at 3 ultimates is not comparable to the Wolf's Gravestone. Wolf's Gravestone at maximum, which is 55,000, which is over the Favonius's 47,000. So generally, ultimate elemental burst is not the way to go for Chongyun. It's just an additional thing which is nice to have. Skyward's Pride, again, 39,000. You don't really gain much. If you go look at say Serpent Spine, you get more out of it, which is 53,000 max stats, 48,000 as well. So generally, you don't really run energy recharge on Chongyun as a secondary stat for the weapon. You get 39,000, which is below Favonius Greatsword, but then again, you get more damage through basic attacks over here. Now, over here we have the total damage per second, including proc, so 243 plus 809. Max possible damage per second for Wolf's Gravestone, 3,300. The rest follows. I'll just go over it briefly. You can pause the video whenever you like. So yeah. Now Shattered, the only one that's affected by Shattered. So again, this is 12 Shattered in 3 sets. So all of the one Shattered is 1,400, 4 Shattered is 5,673, and 12 Shattered is 17,000. All of them will have 17,000 damage. On the only one different would be the Rain Slasher, which increases that 17,000 to 27,000, so increased by 10,000 damage. So generally, all the damage per second is 378.212, etc. While the Rain Slasher's damage per second is 621. So overall, the consensus is best weapon. This is base attack plus proc damage plus shatter DPS. Wolf Gravestone first at 3696. We have Serpent Spine second, Black Slasher's third. We have next up is the Skyward Pride. So I wouldn't say this would be the fourth, although it has a little higher numbers, is because not all blades hit, and this is assuming all blades hit. So fourth is Skyward's Pride. Followed by Skyward's Pride, we have the Royal Greatsword. Then we have the Royal Greatsword because it around 3,100. Say you get 2 stacks. Next is Prototype Aminus. Followed by the White Blind, even at max stacks. We have next up we have the Felonious Greatsword at 2.6, and lastly we have the Bell and the Sacrificial Greatsword. So generally you don't run energy recharge on Chongyun. So yeah, thank you for watching, and please check out the subreddit PopsicleMains as well as our Chongyun Mains Discord. Link in the description. Thank you.